Hello everyone, myself Ami Mehta, and in operating system, let us discuss what is the role, function of kernel and directory structure in the Linux operating system. So basically, what is the basic function of kernel that kernel has to perform in the Linux operating system? So the first function is resource allocation. So it manages the computer's resources and allow other programs to run and use these resources. Example, CPU, memory and IO devices. So all these resources are managed and allocated by the kernel, or we can say that Linux operating system. So the heart of the Linux operating system is kernel. So these all are the tasks of the kernel. The next function, or we can say the role, or we can say the task, function, role, task, we can say all are the similar things. The next one is process management. A process defines which memory portions the application can access to allow the execution of application and support them with features. That which memory portion can be defined and can be accessed by the any process. These all are the handled by the kernel. The next function is memory management. It allows processes to safely access this memory as they require it. Virtual addressing helps kernel to create virtual partition of memory into two disjoint areas: kernel space, which is reserved for the kernel, and user space for the applications. The next function of kernel is IO device management. Processes needs access to the peripherals. Peripheral means the extra devices that is connected to the system, like mouse, keyboard, printer, scanner, etc. So these peripherals connected to the computer, which are controlled by the kernel through device driver. It is a computer program that enables the operating system to interact with the hardware devices. A kernel maintains a list of available devices. The next one is inter-process communications. Its method for synchronization and communication between processes called inter-process communication. There are various approaches for inter-process communication, such semaphore, shared memory, message queue, pipe, etc. These all are the handled by this inter-process communication is handled by the kernel. The next function of the kernel is scheduling. The kernel uses scheduling algorithms to determine which process is running next and how much time it will give. There are various processes that are waiting for to execute, but at a time all processes are not take a chance in the running state. So for that, kernel uses scheduling algorithms to determine which process is in running next. The next function is system calls and interrupt handling. So first of all, what is a system call? A system call is a mechanism that is used by the application program to request a service from the operating system. If we want to request some task from the operating system, we use system call. So system calls include close, open, read, wait, and write. So to access the services provided by the kernel, we need to invoke the related kernel function. So this handling of system calls and interrupt is also a task of function of kernel. Security and security or protection management. Kernel also provides protection from false error control and from malicious behavior. Security is all functionality provided by kernel. One approach toward this can be language-based protection system. Here the kernel will only allow to code to execute which has been produced by a trusted language compiler. Other code will not be allowed to execute in the operating system. So these all are the function of the kernel. Now let us discuss what is the directory structure. As we already discussed what is the function of kernel, the next topic in this session is directory structure. What is the directory structure in Linux? So a directory is a container that is used to contain folders and files. It organizes files and folders into a hierarchical manner. All the files are grouped together in the directory structure. The top of the hierarchy is traditionally called root and it is written as a slash. So basically a root directory, in that there are subdirectory, and in that subdirectory which holds folders and files, and it stores these folders and files in a hierarchical manner as shown in this figure. So as shown, the first one is a root directory and it can be indicated as a slash. Then boot, boot, etc, proc, dev, home, root, these all are the different directory. In that they are again storing some files and folder. So this is the directory structure for the Linux operating system, that this is stored in a hierarchical manner. So it is important that Linux operating system stored in a hierarchical manner for the directory structure. Okay, thank you.